Hey guys, welcome back. I've got some new spooky videos I would like to share with you, but this time this is a bit personal because what I'm about to show you happened back in my hometown. This is back in India where we recently built a house, and we had set up a few cameras for security reasons. And I've been getting a lot of notifications ever since I set up the camera, and I used to ignore that initially. And then slowly I started to realize that there was something paranormal about it. Reason being, whenever I used to see those notifications, I couldn't see any person or a bird or a cat or dog which is walking by because nothing could have actually triggered the motion sensors. So I had to really start monitoring every activity, but I was not prepared to capture what I'm about to show you. So this is the first video. As you can see, there is some sort of a smoke, or I don't know what to call it, a vapor of sort that that just manifested itself in front of the camera. And yeah, obviously you can differentiate an insect from the other. I don't know what to call them, but basically these are what they call orbs. And if you see closely, I will replay the video now. There are two things that we need to observe. So one is the smoke itself, or vapor, whatever it is. I don't know how to explain it. So it just came out of nowhere. There was nobody around, and it was about 12 a.m. So nobody is usually awake at that time. As I said, we were the only ones there at the property. It was freshly built, and we just put our things together. And I was actually away, but I kept getting notifications on my cam, and that's when I looked into the different captures, and I could see this smoke. So initially I was alarmed because I thought this is some sort of a fire, or usually they say where there's smoke there is fire, right? So I was really scared initially, and that's why I had to make a few calls to check if everything's all right. But the subsequent videos or notifications did not show anything to do with smoke or even fire. When I went back to the property, I didn't find anything odd with it. No sign of smoke, no sign of anybody lighting a fire or nearby. So I just don't know what it is. So as I said, there are two things we need to see in this video. So one is the smoke-like thing that came and went. To me, I do think it is something supernatural. As I said, reason being, it seems to have a sense of direction. If you watch the video closely, there is a kind of apparition, if you will, that is taking form. It started off as a natural occurrence, but then it found its way around. If you see to your top left, there is a certain almost Casper-like figure, right? So there is something that is just almost like an eelfish. The way it is moving, as if it has a sense of direction. Just that we don't have any discernible features like the head or the tail and so on. But whatever it is, there are at least two of those things that happen. And I mean, the other interesting aspect of this is the intensity of what we just saw. It just lasted for a few seconds, but it built up to a thick vapor or smoke, and then it kind of fizzled out. It's almost like it is appearing and disappearing out of nowhere. Now, as I said, the second part of this video that I noticed very recently is there is a small orb that moves at the bottom right corner of the screen. If you watch closely, I can slow it down for you. There is this just one. It's a single orb that moves. Now, a lot of people try and explain, especially the world of science says that these are optical illusions, or that's just a trick of the light and stuff like that. But we don't know the answers to everything, right? So I'm not one of those people who readily believes whatever science has to say. So a lot of these are just assumptions, and it's almost like not guilty until proven guilty, right? So in that aspect, to me, I need more evidence. So I know a lot of people are asking for evidence in terms of how do you prove this is supernatural. But on the flip side, I would ask the same question to the science world and say, what is the proof? If you say that something doesn't exist, just because you don't see it, just because you cannot capture it or feel it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So no proof is proof sometimes. Likewise, so this orb, if at all it is a trick of the light, why is it happening in a certain part of the screen? Why aren't there a few one or two orbs? Now, usually the orbs, or as per the science world, they appear when you capture it. It happens when you use a camera with a flash, and that's when you kind of capture the dust particles. Yes, dust particles do move around, but it's not like they have their own way of finding the way, and they don't definitely move with a purpose, right? So if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you can see an orb which just dots. It's there hardly for a second. It dots, it's clear, and it's got a clear circular shape. So whatever this thing is, it is not a bug. It is not smoke. It is not the one that we saw first, but it is something that is appearing and disappearing out of nowhere. So I think it is something paranormal and supernatural, which we are not yet ready to understand.